Hello, welcome back. I'm Darcy Darkness. This is Confessions from the Darkside, and how are you all in this wonderful community? This is Confessions from the Cranky side, and this is a little update on that infamous reboot that I have been bitching and moaning about for quite some time. Is The Crow. The anniversary, the 30th anniversary was this year, and they've decided to cast Bill Skarsgard, very talented guy, and another shitty reboot that is literally going to most likely soul destroy him more than anything else. But I'm going to get the disclaimer out the way. We are so full of so much adult content that some of you may think this is unnecessary, and some of you may think that this isn't needed. If you are one of those people, then thanks for checking us out. But I would say this only once. If you can't stand the heat, then get the fuck out of my kitchen. Now, for everyone else who likes what we have here, then regular scheduled programming will continue. Shall we get started? And are we ready? What are we covering today? Well, this is just a quick little read through Screen Rant on you know how much I fucking love them. And this was uploaded 12 hours ago. This is the 30th, so it was up on the 29th. As we start to count down the release, basically, because it was pushed back to late summer. It was supposed to be out in June, but they didn't want to saturate the cinema with Bill Skarsgård content. And as I said before, Bill Skarsgård is an actor, shock horror, and he is in movies. Holy shit, he's in plenty this year. But again, they didn't want to saturate the cinemas with his face. So I don't understand. He's only doing his fucking job. But this article I'm going to read is the summary. Bill Skarsgård gets candid that he wanted a more definitive ending for The Crow. Because apparently, The Crow's reboot, Bill Skarsgård doesn't approve of his movie's ending. I'm not really particularly happy about how they've portrayed Shelley and Eric in this movie and how they've made them the kind of bad guys. Well, they've made Shelley from her shady past, apparently. It caused her death and his. That's not the story, mate. That's not the fucking story, but hey. So yeah, and he looks closer to the Joker as we've already discussed. So based on the report, the reboot is being set up as a potential franchise, allowing Skarsgård to reprise his role in the future if successful. If successful, the fact that you've just basically said the reboot is basically for a new fucking franchise. The Crow may have been a franchise if the untimely death of Brandon Lee didn't happen. If he actually, like we've discussed before, would The Crow be as big if Brandon Lee didn't be taken out in the filming of the movie? People are like, maybe it wouldn't, maybe it would. But the movie still was a standalone movie that from a subculture of what I'm part of being goth and being alternative, this was a huge movie and still is a huge movie. And the reboot is just angering people. And they were literally throwing stones at fans and expecting them to buy this really expensive steelbook that came out for the 30th anniversary after throwing us under the fucking bus and saying that we were to fucking blame for not giving Bill Skarsgård's Crow the chance it deserves. Well, you told us to go fuck off and basically and just basically take the movie as a reboot, a fresh look, blah blah blah, a retelling for this generation. Well, you told us to fuck off basically. Are you gonna get us our fucking money? Are you fuck? I was like, you've basically now you threw the old fans under the bus and you think the new fans are the ones that are going to part with cash and make this a cult classic like the original movie. You're sadly fucking mistaken. So let's see what Screen Rant's got to say. Bill Skarsgård offers an honest opinion on how The Crow retelling ends. The movie hasn't even been out yet, and now we're getting spoilers. Expressing some dissatisfaction, the actor portrays Eric, a musician brought back to the land of the living with a thirst for vengeance following the grisly murder of himself and his fiancée Shelley. After a lengthy development hell that featured multiple changes in lead and directors, Skarsgård and Rupert Sanders, remember this is the guy who brought us Snow White and the Huntsman. The movie is shite. Teamed up for the Crow retelling of the 1989 comic book by James Barr. Now, the original director and the original writer and everything like that, and people who are actually in the original movie, who are still alive today, have came out in the exact opposite. They are not in support of a reboot and support of them rebooting a universe that they're using the backbone of the original movie and the original culture and fans, even though they told us all to fuck off and pipe the fuck down. So yeah, you need us, but you're not getting us and that's where your movie's going to fucking fail. While the long-awaited adaptation, is it long-awaited? I don't fucking think so, will finally hit theatres in August, not in June, like it was supposed to. The leading star gives his honest perspective on the movie's conclusion to Esquire. While Skarsgård carefully avoided spoiling any details, he admitted that he personally preferred something more definitive. How definitive? The fact that you will never be Brandon Lee. I'm sorry, Bill. I love you as an actor and I think you're fucking amazingly talented. But you need to walk the fuck away from reboots because you are fucking angering this bitch. Rather than a sequel-friendly conclusion that the movie is seemingly aiming for, don't do a Crow 2. We've all seen City of Angels. Now, City of Angels was a good movie on its own. It didn't have to be called The Crow City of Angels. Ugh. How many sequels have we had, or reboots, or remakes, or reimagines with a fucking Crow for them to fucking fail at every point? And they seem to think by putting Bill Skarsgård at the helm, as they keep saying, that fucking word that's overused, that he's going to be able to magically bring forth the reboot of The Crow out of his arse to be a fucking hit. No, he's fucking not. He's not magical. His arse is not that magical. Maybe it is, and I'm just being really hard on the guy. But the guy's doing a job, like I said before. But stop pushing the fact that you're going to be making the Crow reboot and you are now Brandon, because you're not fucking Brandon. Sorry, you're not Eric. You will never be Eric fucking Draven. Ever. Your Eric Draven looks like fucking the Joker. It looks like the Joker from The Dark Knight and the Suicide Squad. It doesn't fucking look like anything that the Crow represents, and that's why the original director thinks it's absolutely disgraceful that they're doing this and actually trying to use the old fans, the original fans from the movie that grew up with the movie, enjoyed the movie, loved the soundtrack, loved the actors, loved everything that it stood for. That's why they're not fucking happy. So this Saunders tunt needs to realise that your movies are shite. And all you've done is basically tarnish The Crow for everybody who's loved it for the past 30 years. Apparently, however, it seems that Saunders' reboot instead intends to allow Skarsgård to reprise the role in the future, should it prove successful. Now, if Skarsgård, who's playing Eric Draven, let me paint a picture. He comes back to avenge Shelley in the original film. He avenges the love of his life who was taken from him, and he was also taken. He gets to relive all these traumatic last events of what she went through. Then he goes about dishing out judge, jury, and executioner because he came back to right the wrongs that were done to him and Shelley. Now, once he actually fulfills that, then he can get to go be with her forever, because real love lasts forever. That's what is on the wedding rings, the rings that they give to each other, because we're going to get married on Halloween, Devil's Night. So why would he reprise a role if he's already avenged the woman that he loves death already? It makes no fucking sense. Skarsgård comments may only fuel further dread concerning how the retelling is being handled. No shit. Not only had The Crow been caught in development hell from 2008 until 2022, which led to a revolving door of lead actors, directors, writers, and even studios, but initially, promotional material didn't instantly win over audience. Again, I am not surprised. Critics were reluctant about the grim, dark, and ultra-violent approach to the source material, with even the 1994 adaptation director Alex Proyas and star Ernie Hudson and Rochelle Davis quick to critique the style. Now, grim, dark, again, similar, but ultra-violent. It's not the fucking Clockwork Orange. What the fuck? Ugh. As such, the studio deciding to preemptively treat 2024's The Crow reboot as the start of a franchise may not be the best way to leave a lasting impression on an already skeptical audience. While the original movie spawned 3 sequels, it didn't spawn 3 sequels. They tried to reboot it many times and failed. Look what they did. They even brought Edward fucking Furlong into it, man. Come on, you fuck. While the original movie spawned 3 sequels, those and the additional comic series chose to expand the story beyond Eric, as The Crow would give others the power to avenge their untimely, brutally ends. Again, that means that Eric wouldn't fucking come back. Someone else would be the version of Eric like it was in City of Angels. However, it would seem that Sanders' reboot instead intends to allow Skarsgård to reprise the role in the future should it prove successful. Well, even your leading man is saying the ending is shite and he doesn't want to fucking give things away and spoil it, but he's literally spoiled it for people who actually maybe were excited. I want to know what people they are, because you really need to stop drinking that Kool-Aid and open your fucking eyes. The Crow fate isn't sealed just yet. Yes, I know. As even with early skepticism, the reboot might surprise and strike a chord with audiences come August. Is it fuck? Whoever's writing this is on crack. However, Skarsgard's honest reflection may leave viewers uneasy about what to expect from Eric's story. Because you're going to fucking butcher it, it sounds like you already have. So you can get a fucking sequel. No one cares, Saunders. Your movie and your skill is shit. Do something else. Take a class. Learn something, because you're obviously not learning from your past mistakes. Snow White and the Huntsman. Hello. As such, despite finally being on the verge of release, the long-awaited The Crow reboot still faces an uphill battle. It's not even an uphill battle, it's a complete decimation of a fucking universe. It's decimating everyone it's destroying even everyone who grew up with The Crow. And every weirdo like myself and future weirdos watching the original 1994 film, a lot of these people and kids today will have seen the 2024 version. They won't have seen the 1994 version. And this is how we need to educate them that this is the original and this is why it stood the test of time. After 30 years, it's still one of those movies that people will choose to watch. I have the soundtrack and I've said it plenty. Even more and more articles are coming out about the soundtrack now. Trent Reznor, like I said, of Nine Inch Nails, he plays the guitar solo that Brandon is playing in the movie. Trent Reznor's music, Nine Inch Nails, is in that. You've got loads of bands, Violent Femmes, Helmet, The Cure. The song It Won't Rain All the Time is a song that I want played at my funeral because it's such a sad song that even the most black-hearted people who show no emotion will still shed a tear because it's so sad, the music, it's so sad, the words, and just the way the person sings it is amazing. What's annoying me is people who are posting all over social media about the Crow 2024 reboot and they're using the fucking Cure Burn. That is a significant part of that movie. That's after Brandon has not only has been killed, he's reliving walking in and finding Shelley, feeling her last moments as she clings on to fucking life when she's being tortured and brutally attacked by that gang. He's reliving that, and as he's reliving that, he's putting his makeup on, his white face on, the face that he put on before he played gigs and stuff. This was like his battle makeup, he's basically getting ready for war because he is going to avenge Shelley's death. And using that song for the new film when they went in a totally opposite fucking direction is fucking stupid. And I get it, the Cure's getting some royalty checks here, but come on to fuck, man. Come on, fuck, stop ruining shit. You're really ruining not just a memory, but a whole following, and it's disgraceful. The Hollywood still can't fucking write good scripts or write a good story these days. That they've got to reboot things that were already very well done. If you're going to reboot it, then yes, reboot it. But they know it's going to be shit, and they're using the original Crow fan base. You've pissed us all off, man. You've pissed us all off in 2008 when we fucking found out you were rebooting it anyway. We weren't fucking happy, so why did you think in 2022 when you started fucking filming it, did you think that we were actually going to be like, aye, we're fucking happy about that now? Because we fucking are not. I get incredibly pissed off because of this, because it's part of my culture and my, not childhood, but my teenage years and my early teenage years, my formative years to being a young adult to now. I absolutely love The Crow. So does Luna. He agrees as well. He's not a big fan of reboots. He's a huge fan of Bill as well. And he agrees that he hasn't done anything very well when it comes to reboot. Now, bringing other characters to life that have not had the opportunity to have their voice on the big screen. Now, he is amazing at doing that. And there's some actors out there who just have this fucking gift where they can make you believe that they are that person. He's not making me believe that he is Pennywise or he is that he is Eric Draven, put it that way. He is not making me believe these things because there's already people who play these characters so fucking well that we didn't need them rebooted. Maybe for when he did it, like I was discussing with my husband earlier, that it is a humongous book. It's got so much in it. But they focused on the two-part series like they did with the original mini-series that they brought out. Because they did mini-series back then when books were incredibly big. Like you had it for The Stand, for example, that ended up just becoming a series when they had the turd in it and stuff. but they had mini-series and books like from like Dean Koontz and Stephen King had mini-series, so they could in depth go into these things. There's parts of it and Pennywise and stuff that will probably never come to light ever because of the content, put it that way, and what is going on. The world changes, film changes, standards change. We've spoke about that over the years. That each year the film standards changes. Every decade the film standard changes. There's still some movies that still are on banned lists in the UK especially. But it changes, so therefore the audience is like more susceptible to some of the things and the traumatic events that are happening because worse things happen in real life. There's some movies that literally have scared the shit out of me that haven't even been horror. And it's just because they feel so real because the actors play their character that well that you fucking believe it. And that's what Bill Skarsgard, I feel he is such a good actor like that. But he needs to stop doing reboots because it's doing nothing for him. He's literally creating more hate. And people think when you talk about anything, whether it's love, hate, like, dislike, then it's a good thing. But do you really want to be known as the reboot killer? Really? Do you really want to be known for your career? You've done these awesome movies, you've perfected your craft. The whole family, Skarsgård family, are fucking talented as fuck. And their dad, holy shit, he is such an amazing actor. And oh my fucking god, you've just need to give your son a shake and tell him that he needs to stop. He just needs to stop. They'll just need to stop. Before I go off on a tangent, what do you think about Bill coming out and saying that he's not happy about the ending of The Crow without giving us spoilers? He said he wasn't happy. Now that's a big red flag. And how do you feel about them making it a fucking franchise now? Which means they're going to drag it out. They're going to drag it out because the ending's the ending's the way it is. What's going to happen? Are we going to have a delayed? Well, not even delayed. After they bring out a sequel, is it going to do loads of flashbacks to the original movie? To the movie, the first movie with Bill, and then talk about his troubles, him coming back. Is he passing the torch on to somebody else? Is he there only as kind of like a narrator, like talking about how he came back, kind of like I came back, I avenged. It didn't feel that great, but if it had to be done, I was brought back for a reason, for a purpose. This is your purpose now. You have to avenge and right the wrongs that happened to you so that you can move on and everyone else can. Is that what it's going to be like? Like he's like a guardian angel, like the raven who's been protective and watchful. Is that what he's actually going to become? Is he literally going to be like, is the crow going to be like kind of the narrator? Because that's where you kind of get a narration from Brandon Lee when he plays Eric Draven. There's a kind of narration. And they also have Sarah, who's the wee girl, Rochelle. Yeah, Rochelle Davis. She kind of talks the infamous line basically through the movie. And again, how do you feel that even the original director, writer, also the stunt double of Brandon Lee, who actually does John Wick now, he's the director of John Wick, he's came out and said stuff as well. And Ernie Hudson, he was one of the first. How do you feel the fact that the original cast from the original movie aren't fucking happy about how this is going and how they're using the original movie to actually pass this movie off, even though it's a reboot? Are you looking forward to this movie? Are you enjoying the rants about this movie? Let me know if you know any other information that I may have missed out or I may not know. Please let me know in the comments below. I am Darcy Darkness. If you enjoy content like this, remember to go to Confessions from the Darkside social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon Music, Spotify, and Buzzsprout. Let us know what you think over on our social medias and let's get chatting about this topic, all the topics. Let's grow our community. Spread how awesome the horror community actually is. If you want to get to know us as individuals, then you can check out in our links below. I am Darcy Darkness. My channel is Behind the Mash Reviews, and my platforms are YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and Kick. Lunar is Lunar X Rising, and he is YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. And if you want to reach out to us at any point for anything, we have confessions from the dark side at gmail.com, myself, Darcy Darkness, which is behind the mash reviews at gmail.com, and Lunar is Lunar X Rising at gmail.com. And that was Confessions from the Dark Side presents Confessions from the Cranky Side, the Crow reboot update for May 2024, but it will probably come out in June 2024 because we're right at the very end. And I will see you in the next next podcast. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the views, and thank you for interacting with us. We really do appreciate it. Later.